After the age of 60, leg strength does not decline suddenly, and it does not disappear overnight. It fades quietly, week by week, often without pain and without warning. This gradual loss happens because the body shifts into a muscle breaking state more easily than a muscle-building one. Hormones that once protected muscle tissue decrease, nerve signals that activate muscles slow down, and the body becomes more efficient at conserving energy rather than using it. The legs, being the largest and most demanding muscle group, are the first to be affected. What makes this decline dangerous is not just the weakness itself, but how easily it is ignored. Most people assume feeling slower, heavier, or less stable is simply a normal part of aging. They adapt without realizing it. They push off furniture to stand. They avoid stairs. They shorten their walking distance. Each small adjustment sends a signal to the brain that the legs are no longer essential, and the brain responds by reducing muscle activation even further. This creates a cycle. Less use leads to less strength. Less strength leads to less confidence. Less confidence leads to less movement. Over time, the muscles that once stabilized the hips, knees, and ankles begin to shrink. The fast twitch muscle fibers, which protect against trips and sudden loss of balance, disappear first. Circulation slows, joint stress increases. Balance becomes uncertain, especially during turns or changes in direction. But this process is not permanent, and it is not one way. Muscle loss after 60 is not a failure of the body. It is a lack of the right signal. Muscles are biologically designed to respond at any age. When they receive even gentle resistance combined with intention and control, they rebuild. Nerves that seem quiet can reconnect, blood flow improves, stability returns. The idea that strength cannot come back after a certain age is outdated. Research and clinical experience show that older muscles respond quickly when activated correctly. In fact, they often respond faster than younger muscles because the body recognizes strength as a survival priority. Even small movements done consistently can reverse weeks or months of decline. The key difference lies in how the movement is performed. Fast, careless motion relies on momentum and avoids true muscle engagement. Slow, controlled movement forces the muscle fibers to wake up and work together with the nervous system. This cooperation between muscle and nerve is what restores strength, not intensity or exhaustion. Reversal does not require standing, lifting heavy weights, or pushing through pain. It requires sending a clear, repeated message to the body that the legs are still needed. When that message is delivered daily, the body responds by rebuilding what it was prepared to let go of. Leg strength after 60 is not about youth or athletic ability. It is about maintaining communication between the brain and the muscles. Once that communication is restored, walking feels lighter, standing feels safer, and balance feels more natural. The decline that once seemed inevitable begins to slow, then stop, then reverse as the body shifts from loss to preservation, and from preservation to rebuilding. Weak legs after the age of 60 are not just a matter of feeling slower or less capable. They directly impact safety, independence, and overall quality of life. The legs are the foundation of the body, supporting weight, absorbing impact, and stabilizing movement. When they lose strength, the body's entire balance system is compromised. Weak leg muscles make even simple activities risky. Standing from a chair, climbing a small step, or reaching for an object suddenly requires more effort and coordination than before, and any misstep can lead to a fall. Falls in older adults are not minor accidents. They are often the trigger for injuries that limit mobility for weeks or months. A weakened leg is essentially a silent risk factor that grows each week if left unaddressed. The risk goes beyond physical injury. Weak legs also erode confidence. Older adults instinctively adjust their movement to compensate for instability. They avoid stairs, walk slower, and rely on furniture or walls for support. Each of these adjustments may feel safe in the moment, but they reinforce weakness. The muscles are used even less. Nerves receive fewer activation signals, and the body adapts to reduced capability. This pattern creates a feedback loop where fear of falling leads to inactivity, inactivity leads to further weakness, and weakness increases the likelihood of falling. Over time, this cycle can severely limit independence, making ordinary tasks seem daunting and causing reliance on others for things that were once simple. Leg weakness also affects posture and overall body mechanics. When the legs cannot adequately support the body, other muscle groups must compensate. The lower back, hips, and even shoulders take on extra work to maintain balance and mobility. This overcompensation can lead to chronic pain, joint stress, and fatigue, which further discourages movement. Reduced mobility, combined with discomfort and fear, creates a scenario where life gradually becomes smaller. Everyday activities that once required minimal effort, walking to the mailbox, carrying groceries, or standing to cook, start to feel burdensome. Each limitation reinforces the perception that aging equals decline, when in reality it is often the result of under-used muscles and weakened legs. Beyond personal safety and independence, weak legs have broader health consequences. The muscles of the legs are critical for circulation, helping blood return to the heart and reducing the risk of swelling or clot formation. They also play a major role in metabolic health. Strong leg muscles help regulate blood sugar and burn calories efficiently, supporting weight management and cardiovascular health. When leg muscles weaken, these systems become less efficient, which can contribute to chronic conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, and poor heart health. Weak legs, therefore, are not just a mobility issue, they are a warning sign for systemic health decline. Mental health is also impacted. The loss of mobility and fear of falls can lead to isolation and anxiety. Many older adults begin to withdraw from social activities, avoiding places where they might need to walk or stand for extended periods. This isolation reinforces a sense of helplessness and can accelerate both physical and cognitive decline. By addressing leg weakness early, the risks associated with injury, loss of independence, health complications, and emotional strain can be dramatically reduced, allowing older adults to maintain confidence, autonomy, and a higher quality of life. One of the most remarkable truths about the aging body is its ability to respond to the right kind of stimulus even after 60, 70, or 80 years of life. Many people assume that once their legs start weakening, nothing can reverse it. They believe that falling strength is permanent, that it is simply part of aging, and that exercise must be difficult, exhausting, or painful to be effective. The reality is very different. Even a single simple, controlled chair exercise, when done consistently, can rebuild strength, improve balance, and restore confidence. The key lies not in intensity or complexity, but in the precision and intention behind each movement. Muscles are living tissues that thrive on activation. When they are used, fibers contract, blood flow increases, and the nervous system receives critical feedback about control and coordination. When they are not used, the body sees them as expendable. After 60, when overall activity often declines due to lifestyle, health conditions, or fear of injury, this lack of activation becomes a primary cause of weakness. The muscles of the legs, in particular, are vulnerable because they are responsible for supporting the body against gravity, stabilizing joints, and producing the power needed for walking, climbing, and standing. Even small reductions in strength make ordinary tasks more difficult and increase the risk of falls. Chair exercises target these muscles efficiently because they allow older adults to work safely and effectively. Sitting provides stability, so the risk of losing balance is minimized while the muscles still receive a strong, targeted workout. Lifting a leg, extending it slowly, and holding the position for several seconds engages both the quadriceps and hamstrings, while also activating the glutes and stabilizing muscles around the hips. The controlled movement ensures that every muscle fiber is recruited, and holding the position forces the body to overcome gravity without momentum, which is where real strength gains occur. Each repetition teaches the nervous system to communicate more effectively with the muscles, reinforcing neural pathways that may have been under-used or dormant. Consistency is critical. Performing this exercise a few times a day is more effective than occasional high-intensity sessions. The body responds best to frequent, steady signals that the muscles are needed. Slow, deliberate repetitions also reduce the likelihood of strain or injury while maximizing muscle recruitment. Over time, even modest daily sessions produce noticeable improvements in strength, balance, and endurance. Legs feel more stable, getting up from a chair requires less effort, and walking becomes more confident. The improvement is often faster than people expect because the nervous system is remarkably responsive when paired with controlled muscle activation. In addition to strengthening the muscles themselves, this approach improves overall functional capacity. Strong legs support better posture, which reduces strain on the lower back and other joints. They enhance circulation, supporting cardiovascular and metabolic health. They improve reaction time and coordination, which reduces fall risk. Perhaps most importantly, they restore confidence. When the legs feel capable, older adults are more willing to move, walk longer distances, and engage in daily activities. This increase in activity further reinforces strength, creating a positive cycle that can dramatically improve quality of life. The beauty of a single chair exercise lies in its simplicity and accessibility. No gym, no equipment, and no special clothing is needed. It can be done in the living room, in a kitchen chair, or even while waiting for a cup of coffee to brew. The minimal time commitment makes it sustainable, and the results compound over weeks and months. As muscles regain strength and neural control improves, independence is restored. Tasks that once felt challenging become manageable again, and fear of falls diminishes. The legs, once weak and overlooked, regain their role as the foundation of the body, supporting not just movement but confidence, safety, and the ability to continue living life on one's own terms. By focusing on slow, consistent, controlled activation, older adults can turn back the clock on leg weakness. They can reclaim stability, endurance, and balance with a simple, repeatable routine that fits seamlessly into daily life. The chair becomes not just a seat, but a tool for rebuilding strength, empowering movement, and enhancing overall well-being. Even after years of inactivity, the body responds when given the right signal, proving that it is never too late to strengthen legs, regain control, and restore independence.